Good evening and welcome to NewsWatch Ole Miss. We're so happy to be starting off your evening. I'm Hallie Reeves.
And I'm Mary Martin Booker. We have a packed show for you tonight, starting with campus and Oxford news.
But before we get started, on Tuesdays we wear pink.
On Tuesdays, we wear pink, and we have some beautiful pink sunsets that are really going nicely with these cooler temperatures in the morning. But I have to say, I'm really glad that it's been getting warmer throughout the day.
I can't agree more. But as summer is almost around the corner, let's turn things over to our weather anchor, Erica Fontana, to get a look at those current temperatures. Erica?
Thanks, guys. Right now in Oxford, it is 75 degrees. A little bit cloudy, but the sun is peeking through. Not much wind, so it's a beautiful day to get out and enjoy the weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Erica. Over the weekend, students rallied against sexual assault at Take Back the Night event.
NewsWatch reporter Tanisa Ringo attended the event in the Grove to find out more. Let's take a look.
Students gathered in the Grove Wednesday night for Take Back the Night, an event all about awareness, support, and giving survivors a space to be heard. The event was put on by Raza and Case and included a march around the Grove, guest speakers, and a candlelight visual.
I'm glad we hold it in April because, as many people who attend the event have seen, there are a lot of people out taking grad pictures. It's a beautiful night, and there are a lot of people who just get to witness us being here. And if the least we can do is raise curiosity about what's happening, I think that we've done our job.
Take Back the Night is part of a bigger international movement, and here on campus it's about making sure students know they're not alone and that there are resources available.
I wasn't expecting, I guess, all the amount of people that, the amount of organizations that came together for this. That was really heartwarming to see.
This year's event also featured a guest speaker, Bonnie Shade, who spoke to attendees about advocacy and supporting survivors.
I think it's important that we share that, because this work, the things that we do, is so much more than just taking back the night. It's about reclaiming our power.
Students marched through the Grove together, showing support and taking a stand against sexual violence. Organizers and attendees say having Take Back the Night helps create a space where people feel supported and conversations like this can happen. The event also included a survivor speak out, giving people the opportunity to share their stories in a supportive space.
Knowing that people are willing to hold that space and hold that silence, that makes me feel like there really is a supportive group who just wants to listen.
The night ended with a candlelight visual, giving everyone a moment to reflect and stand in solidarity with survivors. This is Tanisa Ringo with NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Double Decker is only 3 days away, which will bring a busy weekend and lots of visitors to Oxford. Listen closely for an overlook on this weekend's schedule. Music on the Square starts at 6 p.m. Friday with Penelope Road on the main stage. The night will continue with live performances until 9 p.m. Saturday is much busier with Double Decker Spring Walk starting at 7:30 a.m., followed by the Double Decker Kids Fun Run at 9. Art and food vendors open at 10 a.m. and close at 5:30 p.m. Saturday night. Live music begins on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Bands like Annie and the Caldwells, Mountain Grass Unit, and the Heavy Heavy will perform throughout the day. And the night will end with headliner Wilco at 8:30. The festival will end promptly at 10 o'clock. Continuing with Double Decker details, there have been recent discussions online surrounding Double Decker's clear bag policy this year. Last year, festival organizers said that a clear bag policy would be implemented for Double Decker this year. However, as the weekend approaches, Visit Oxford officials have decided that clear bags are not required this year, but instead are encouraged for festival goers when entering the event after 5 p.m.
This past Saturday, students in the Oxford community gathered for Relay for Life at the university's intramural fields. The event honored cancer survivors and remembered those who have died from the disease. Attendees were provided with music, games, visits from local vendors, and ceremonies reflecting on the challenges that cancer causes. Relay for Life was hosted in support of the American Cancer Society. The event raised $9,300 for support ongoing cancer research efforts. Now, college can be difficult. We both know that.
Oh, yes.
And having support is important.
That's right, Hallie. With finals right around the corner, NewsWatch reporter Rebecca Wallace talked to students and the University Counseling Center about the resources that are available to help students manage. Let's take a look.
College can come with a lot of pressure, and for many students, finding ways to manage that stress is important. I'm Rebecca Wallace, and today we're taking a look at the resources through the Ole Miss Counseling Center and how students can access them. College can be overwhelming at times, especially during busy parts of the semester like midterms and finals.
I definitely have felt overwhelmed and stressed. I think especially with midterms and finals coming, I feel like that's when I tend to get the most stressed.
While many students rely on personal support systems, the Ole Miss Counseling Center offers additional resources to help students navigate those challenges.
You can always talk to somebody, and we're all about relationships. Healthy relationships are what keep us sane and sober.
My support system is definitely my family and my roommates and my teammates and coaches. I feel like they're such a big support to me whenever I'm feeling stressed. They just really remind me of truth and just that I can do this and that it's going to be okay and we're going to get through it all together. But I feel like they just lift me up in those times and just like know how to have my back and support me. Yeah.
The Counseling Center provides services focused on supporting students' mental health and overall well-being, giving them another outlet during stressful times.
We have 20 licensed full-time counselors on our staff and 8 clinical graduate assistant students seeing students as well on our staff. So we've got a lot of availability for services and really wonderful expertise here. I wish everybody could see the folks that work here that work with our students.
Students also have the option to walk in for appointments, making it easier to access help when they need it. Resources like the Counseling Center continue to provide support for students navigating the pressures of college life.
Thank you, Rebecca. I know things are starting to get a little stressful with graduation. This is for me and Erica.
Yes, definitely. That is so crazy, and I know finals are also approaching, which can be very stressful, but on the bright side, we have double-decker to look forward to this weekend.
You are so right. I hope we have some good weather, but in the meantime, Erica, what can we expect tonight for tonight's conditions?
Beautiful weather tonight, clear skies, sunny right now, looking to transfer that over into the evening with no cloud coverage, but I'll have more for you guys after the break.
Hey Rubs, it's spring semester, which means yearbook reservations are now available. Want to order your 2026 yearbook? Go online to theolemissyearbook.com to guarantee your copy. Books this year are $40 each, previous yearbooks are $25 each, to any student, faculty, or fans.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
No. Bro, but you're not even gonna do anything. Yes, I was. Yes, no.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Like we said earlier in the show, it's 75 degrees right now, mostly sunny, a little bit windy with winds out of the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Not too bad, but precipitation is at 0%, so won't need any umbrellas tonight. And today's temperature around northern Mississippi, a lot of the same as we've been seeing lately. 81 degrees in Corinth, 82 in Tupelo, 75 in Holly Springs, 78 in South Haven, and 75 here in Oxford. And as you can see, there is a little bit of rain south of Oxford. This will be coming a little bit south through the rest of the night, so don't worry unless you are traveling south. And tonight's forecast, 55 degrees, cloudy, southwest 5 miles per hour. If you're going out tonight, maybe for the Congress concert, don't worry about bringing an umbrella or anything because it shouldn't be too rainy. And tomorrow, 80 degrees and sunny. Perfect day if you're looking to get outside, maybe get a little bit of a tan before double-decker weekend. Winds out of the south at 5 miles per hour and no rain, so it will be quite a hot day, but luckily very nice weather. And around tomorrow, it'll be 81 degrees in Corinth, but the rest of northern Mississippi will be at 80 degrees. And looking into the 5-day forecast, it is going to be 80 degrees, like I said, tomorrow, 82 Thursday and sunny, but unfortunately, we're looking at quite the rainy weekend for double-decker, highs of the mid-80s, but unfortunately, that rain will be around.
I cannot believe there's going to be rain for double-decker.
Hopefully it changes, but that's what it's looking like.
Are you guys going to go?
Oh, I
Even
will
if
be
rain
there.
or shine, will you be there?
Rain or shine,
double-decker.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of fabulous outfits that you got to wear at double-decker, but I know maybe the football team teased something for us for next season?
Yeah, we will be teasing that coming up in sports. We're talking about awards, outfits, new additions. NewsWatch Ole Miss. We'll be right back.
There's an epidemic spreading. Scientists say it can change your brain. It can release dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde into your bloodstream. It can expose your lungs to acrolein, which can cause irreversible damage. It's not a parasite, not a virus, not an infection. It's vaping.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Each year, hurricanes and major flooding threaten cities, towns, and rural homes across the Gulf states. So chances are there will be more storms and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss with Sports Watch. I'm Sydney McGee. The SEC Men's Golf Tournament will be taking place in Sea Island, Georgia tomorrow through Sunday. Number 12, Ole Miss will be participating with a predominantly senior lineup. Tom Fisher in particular has proven to show his next level play, leading the Rebels in 8 statistical categories and is coming off of 2 back-to-back top 2 finishes. The main trio, Tom Fisher, Cameron Tankersley, and Cohen Trulio, will be looking to make the program's 9th straight postseason appearance. Tee-off is set for 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and heading over to the track, Ole Miss men's track and field has come in 21st in this week's 4 USCATF CCC rating index released this morning. The men's team has taken the league by storm, appearing in all 4 outdoor rankings released this season, which can be accredited to head coach Connie Price-Smith, who has tallied 77 of the 141 total outdoor rankings. Tarek Robinson O'Hagan carries 2 individual rankings, number 1 in the shot put and number 3 in the hammer, while Sterling Scott places 6 in the triple jump. The team will taper this week in order to return fresh in action May 2nd at the LSU Invite. And you might know her as one of the best women's shot putters in collegiate history. Akoma Adeluga has won the SEC Women's Field Athlete of the Week award. following her winning performance at the Virginia Challenge, notably her third-round attempt registering as a 1-foot PR. Her throw ranks second in both NCAA and across the U.S. in both indoor and outdoor seasons. And Luga and the rest of the women's team will join the men's in Baton Rouge May 2nd for the LSU Invite. While this topic is definitely sad for me to talk about as a graduating senior, it is very exciting for returning Ole Miss students. Ole Miss Athletics has announced the 2026 What to Wear color schedule for the upcoming football season. Week 1 is powder blue, throwing a curveball at fans who are normally used to wearing white week 1. Instead, the white game is now during week 6 against Missouri. Game 3 against LSU will be the one and only stripe out, and the remaining home games will be 3 red, 2 navy, and 2 more powder. Along with What to Wear, Ole Miss has also released the pom-pom schedule as well. And Churchill Downs Incorporated is actively growing in the horse racing industry, and they have agreed to acquire the Preakness brand in an $85 million deal announced today. Specifically, the corporation bought the intellectual property, including the trademarks and associated rights for the Preakness Stakes and the Black-Eyed Susan Stakes. The race will continue to be held at Pimlico in Baltimore, and the deal is expected to close after the 2026 Preakness Stakes on May 16th. The world's top athletes stepped in from Madrid on Monday for the Distinguished Laureus Sports Awards. Past winners include some of the greatest. That's Lionel Messi, Usain Bolt, Simone Biles, and Serena Williams, just to name a few. For the first time, Aryna Sabalenka heard her name called as Sportswoman of the Year, currently sitting as number 1 in women's tennis. Capturing 3 of the 4 major finals last year, winning her second straight U.S. Open in September at a young 27 years old. On the men's side, the trophy stayed on the court. Carlos Alcaraz claimed his first Sportsman of the Year award, and half a century younger than Sabalenka, taking titles in 3 finals in 2025 and both the French and U.S. Opens. If he recovers in time from a wrist injury, he will look to win a 3rd straight Roland Garros title next month. Congrats to the duo. And that's all I have for sports. Opening the gates to national news, what's going on in news?
Thank you, Sydney. Coming up next on NewsWatch, graduation is just around the corner. Find out how seniors are making every last moment count.
And later on, the latest updates on the conflict in Iran. We have everything you need to know after this short break.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
If I had asked, if I try meth, will I become an addict? Or can you really lose it on meth? Or if I'd asked, will meth become the only thing I care about? I wouldn't be asking.
All right, can you load me up again?
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. We just want to clarify that Alcaraz is half a decade, not half a century younger. Now, seniors, brace yourselves for this one. We are just 17 days away from graduation, which means that grad photo season is well underway. With more details is NewsWatch reporter Jesse Mitchell.
What happens in a flash can lead to a lifetime of memories. As seniors prepare for their next chapter, they're closing this one with a photo. Photographer Lydia Waters says her goal is to help seniors wrap up their time on campus with their chin held high.
I try to capture people's confidence and just the overall emotions that they're going through with the whole process, whether that's happiness, excitement, whatever it really is. I just try to bring that into fruition.
Waters says graduation photos serve as a way for seniors to encapsulate their entire journey with a single moment.
I think taking grad photos is a really good way for people to have this kind of closure. This is like a final step for them, and when they take grad photos, it really does feel like that final chapter is coming to a close.
For most students, graduation photos have become a prerequisite to receiving their diploma. Senior Alyssa Yarbrough says these photos have been on her mind from the moment she arrived.
I think that graduating college is such a rite of passage, and I've seen people taking their senior pictures all over campus when I was a freshman, sophomore, junior, and now it's like, wow, this is my turn. Like, I'm grown up now and I get to move on to the next thing. So
A single senior photo session can cost you anywhere from $100 to $500. For many students, however, it's hard to put a price on memories. This is Jesse Mitchell with NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Thank you, Jesse. Now moving into national news, singer David was charged with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found dismembered and decomposed in the singer's Tesla. The singer, whose real name is David Burke, was charged with first-degree murder, lewd and crude acts with a person under 14 and mutilating a body. His attorney pleaded not guilty on all accounts. David will continue to be held without bail. And taking things to the nation's capital, Republicans in the Senate are trying to come up with funds for the Department of Homeland Security without any votes from Democrats. Today they released their budget plans, which is the first step in a budgetary maneuver called reconciliation. This would get their plan passed with a simple majority rather than the 60 votes that are normally needed to pass funding like this. Up until this point, Democrats have been able to block any funding that does not include ICE reforms, but this new plan would allow DHS to be funded and avoid these reforms. However, for this plan to work, they will need almost every Republican in both chambers to vote in favor of this new budget. The vote will take place later this week, and we will keep you updated as we learn more. Now let's hand it over to Hallie on set for our conflict in Iran update.
Thank you, Mary Martin. Happening in Iran, officials and analysts are concerned that the U.S. missile and air defense interceptor inventories are starting to run low. On Saturday, the U.S. and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, targeting Iranian leadership and military sites. The duration of the missile mission has not been confirmed, but sources are saying it could last for several days. Former defense officials say that continuing a strike like this that lasts several days is possible. Sustaining it is another issue. We know Iran has fired counterattacks on 5 U.S. bases in locations such as Qatar and Jordan. President Donald Trump claims that the U.S. is not running short of any weaponry. We'll update as we learn more information. Keeping things in Iran, investors seem hopeful about a new round of Iranian negotiations that could actually help reduce gas prices. J.D. Vance is set to negotiate with Iranians in Pakistan on Wednesday, and if the U.S. can ease tensions, we could potentially get oil supply moving again. If the tensions ease, this means a potential for lower oil and gas prices. This week's WTI crude oil is in the mid to high 80s, with bench crude in the mid 90s. These are both down 1% this week, likely because traders expect more supply if negotiations go well. AAA says gas is $4.02 per gallon, which is down 2% from Monday. 2 cents from Monday. As the war in Iran continues, we're hoping these negotiations can bring down some prices. And gas prices aren't the only things that might affect the average American. Summer air travel could be majorly impacted. Air Canada says it will be suspending 6 different routes starting on June 1st because jet fuel prices have just about doubled. These flights include routes from Toronto and Montreal to JFK and other domestic routes within Canada. As of now, no other airplanes have made suspensions. However, anyone planning on traveling abroad this summer may want to pay extra attention to their travel plans. This wraps up today's national news update. Back to you at the desk with Mary Martin.
Thank you, Hallie. Now it's time to grab your popcorn because NewsWatch is heading to the movies. We'll be right back after this short break.
Uh-oh, young Tommy is smoking a cigarette, creating his own smog cloud. Tommy's up to bat. Tommy smokes because he thinks it makes him look grown up. But watch what smoking does for him. That coughing is one thing. It keeps him from playing his best. You're out! Don't smoke. It doesn't make you grown up. It makes you a loser.
Everybody clunks. But not enough people click. And no matter how good they are at handling their cars, or how well they know the road, everybody's equally likely to get involved in an accident. And without a seatbelt, you're twice as likely to be killed or seriously injured. So don't just be a clunker. Clunk, click.
Find out how to use an awkward silence to help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
We are rebels. For more than 160 years, we've been accomplishing the impossible, from conducting the world's first lung transplant to helping prove Einstein was right. From preserving the past to saving the future. We are Mississippi's flagship university, a place where passion and learning unite, where friends become family, where small-town charm meets world-class innovation. We are the University of Mississippi. We are Ole Miss.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. Now it's time to roll out the red carpet because NewsWatch is heading to the movies. Fans of Michael Jackson, get excited because the long-awaited Michael Jackson biopic is hitting screens this weekend.
The film Michael details how he went from a child star to a household name. And many fans are excited to see Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, step into the role of his famous uncle.
However, Rotten Tomatoes scored the film at a very low 26%, making it one of the worst-rated biopic films in a long time.
The musical and dance scenes left critics impressed, but it seems that is the only thing that critics really seem to enjoy. According to the Globe and Mail, quote, "There is just not enough of a movie to hang those show-stopping numbers on."
We'll see how this film performs when it hits box offices on Thursday.
Okay,
going to see the movie?
I was excited for this.
I
It's
was
been a
too.
damper on it.
I thought I was going to go see it, but after this, maybe I'll still give it a shot, but who
Yeah,
knows?
those numbers are like abnormally low.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, which makes me want to go see it.
Exactly. Well, in more movie news, actor Eddie Murphy was honored by the American Film Institute. This was on Saturday with a prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award.
Other recent winners of this award have been Francis Ford Coppola, Nicole Kidman, and Julie Andrews.
This year's event raised more than $2.5 million, which will support the American Film Institute nonprofit organization.
This ceremony will be available for streaming on Netflix starting on May 31st.
That's all we have for tonight. I'm Hallie Reeves.
And I'm Mary Martin Booker with your latest news.
I'm Erica Fontana with Stormwatch.
And with Sports Watch, I'm Sydney McGee.
Thank you for watching NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live and keep it local.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Good night.